Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, as I always like to say, we are going to wrap up another week of racing here. Giggity Season 4. We're at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway once again. As always, the one and only Mr. Doughboy. He's up in the booth. And the guy from way over the pond. What's up there, Serenity? How are you guys doing tonight?
Yeah, not too bad. It's good to be in the booth with you yet again, Pudding, and it's been a blast last time we was in here. But I tell you what, we're looking at some really good racing tonight in the preset Cup Series. You know, with these drivers, they're always good to watch. I mean, you got the 00 Jake from Team Noco. You got Captain Jack pushing that aggression, you know, just to the line where he's not pushing it too much. We've also got Alex Ned. I mean, there's a guy that we've not heard from in a while. He's racing for the Underdogs team as well. Not to mention, I'll just let you know, Captain Jack is currently riding for DSR. There's a lot of good drivers in here, and there's a lot of potential. And look at the field. I mean, I'm looking at the roll call now. I'm not sure if they're all in there because we're not in the lobby yet, but I've got here that there's going to be 12 drivers tonight. So I heard there's a few drivers missing, so maybe a field of 15, I'm guessing. And at this point, you know, it's coming towards the end of the season. There's 3 tracks left. We've got Las Vegas to go, Auto Club, and Talladega. It's crunch time, Pudding. It's crunch time.
Taddy missed a letter down there in his comment in the broadcast. I think he meant to put an O in front of that. Hi-yo!
Yeah, I watched Alex last night and Captain Jack race. They were at Chicagoland for 134 laps, and those guys were latched onto each other's bumpers. We know how quick Alex is. Again, Captain Jack, I call him the self-proclaimed fastest guy in the Heat 4. That's what he keeps saying. Speedy Gonzalez himself. Always fast guy. Likes to push issues sometimes, you know. I think if he can develop a little bit of patience, man, old Cap will definitely be forced to be reckoned with more so than normal. But the Indianapolis long straightaways, 4 corners. We've done it a couple times this week. Again, I don't know if I'm going to have any more trivia for y'all this week, except for the one thing. I did name this the Back Home Again in Indiana. Who sang it? Who sang that at the beginning of every Indianapolis 500? That'll be the one trivia nugget I think I got for you guys tonight. I was trying to come up with a cool name, but Indianapolis holds a special place in my heart. We saw some great racing, custom cup style, great races there in the preset Xfinity the other night. So, and as always, we're going to put together one badass show for you here, Giggity Season 4 preset cup on a Sunday night.
Well, I got another fun question. What is actually the best track in Indiana?
Well, that could be mixed, you know, there's mixed emotions on that, you know. You know, that's personal opinion. A lot of people like IRP, or I believe they call it Lucas Oil Motor Speedway now, but Indianapolis Raceway Park. They turned an old Triple Ace baseball diamond right there on 16th Avenue, 16th Street, right down the street from the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It was baseball diamond. They turned it into a little short track where they used to race midgets and sprint cars and USAC cars on there. Then you got Elkhart Lake. I don't believe Elkhart Lake's there, but me personally, and my favorite track is Indianapolis.
That's because y'all aren't hip to the game. Indiana is home to the only track that has more banking than Bristol and is still a half mile, Winchester Speedway.
I've never even heard of it.
Furious, man.
I'll have to look that up.
It is more banked than Bristol. The Winchester 400 is one of the biggest races all year besides the Snowball Derby down in Pensacola. So if you're ever in Indiana and you need something to do when you're over by the Fort Wayne area, go check out Winchester Speedway.
All right, guys, we just got confirmation. Qualifying is done. We'll get you that here in just a second. And as we know from there, that's going to lead us right into the big race. My notifications are off, so if we do get some, please let me know. I've got my eye on the phone, got the broadcast up on the computer, and we are ready to go. Indianapolis Preset Cup style, man. I love this track. Robbie, if you ever come over here, depending upon how close we are to this, well, I'll have to beg you out here just so you can get an idea of how big and historic this track is. I mean, people don't know it, but there's 3 holes of a golf course that are on the middle of this track. For the country club that's on the outside of it, too. It's that big.
Yeah, it'd be definitely interesting to see, you know, come over there, and it'd be weird for me because I'll be on the wrong side of the vehicle, so I'll be like, what's going on here?
Oh, you do the same thing you do in NASCAR Heat, man. You just sit there and ride along.
The museum too. The museum is super fantastic. There, they've got NASCARs, obviously old Formula cars, Indy cars. Joe Leonard, who used to drive back in the day. He was, I know, again, a little bit of tidbit. Joe Leonard is a two-time AMA Grand National Championship on flat track motorcycles. Then he jumped over to race to Indy cars, and so he was out there. And another thing too, Evil Knievel. He was a tire changer for
Yeah.
Agajarian's team over here before he became Evil Knievel. A lot of people don't know that. Agajarian was one of the guys that actually helped promote some of his first big jumps, but Evil Knievel actually was a tire changer here for, I forget what his name, TC Agajarian. I know I'm saying the last name proper, but there's so much fun and history here. I guess I can't keep, I don't want to keep repeating myself. It's just, oh, Indianapolis just makes me giggity.
All right. Yeah, man, I've been out to our Indianapolis a couple times, man. Try to watch a couple of them. I was actually there for when remember when Indy cars did that Firestone where they all pull off the track. Oh, I think it was like '02.
Yeah, they started running Formula One cars there. The, NASCAR was the first first cars to race there outside of the Indy cars, who was only just one time a year, and they shut the whole month of May down from practice to carb day, pole day, bump day. I remember so many people out there too. On the last minute, the gun goes off. They're on the track. The qualifying laps do count. They don't count. Ari Leyendijk set one of the fastest qualifying speeds out there, not a one-lap speed, but a qualifying speed, and started dead last because the first 2 weeks of between pole day and qualifying day, they just couldn't put anything together. So he is the fastest starter ever to start at the rear of the field. And that's just crazy trivia for you guys too. Jill Javarin driving for the Marlboro Team Penske IndyCar, one lap record of a 2:41. That just blows my mind. 2:41. High horsepower cars, high downforce, and that's why a lot of these Cup guys like coming here too. They lay into it, they can put wood to her, and let the cars eat on these 4 tricky turns.
I miss the days when they used to run the 600 and then come out here and run the 500.
Oh yeah, they used to call it doing the double. Robbie Gordon did it. John Andretti did it. Tony Stewart used to do it. One year I went. One year that I went out there, it was Tony Stewart's last year, actually. I have a picture of him in the number 20 Home Depot sponsored IndyCar, and then my buddy was at the Coke 600, and he took a picture both on pace laps, and we made duplicates, so we both have pictures time-stamped in the corner of Tony in an IndyCar and the stock car when they used to race the 1,100-mile race.
That's pretty cool.
Robbie Gordon was doing the double 1 year and ran out of gas while leading at Indianapolis with 2 to go. He ran out right there in between of the short chute on the 3 and 4 in the Northwest Vistas, and we were all like, "Oh no!" because that would have definitely blown his chance of going for the 600, doing the post-race celebration. Which, yeah, I would have missed the 600 to celebrate an Indy 500 win.
Has anybody actually won that double? Or
No.
Did they ever win that double?
Nope. No. Nobody has ever won the race. The highest finisher in both races. There's a good trivia nugget that I do know the answer to. The highest finisher who has ever attempted in both races. So not just one race or the other, but who finished the highest in both races and attempted to do it.
I might have to say Smoke.
I'd just like to take a moment to say hello, Tatty, the CEO, the boss, the myth, the legend. We had a race. The old guy, yeah. It's good to see him in the comments section tonight, and yeah, he had his birthday the other day, so. But I hope you had a good time there, Tatty, and looking forward to what we can bring you tonight. And who's going to be everybody's pick for tonight?
I'm going with my homeboy that I pick all the time, man. I can't never root against Jake. He's been a good buddy to me, but he's been a better racer, man. And anytime he's on the track, that's my odds-on favorite.
What about you, so many to choose from, so many good drivers. That's why they're here in the Cup Series, Preset Cup.
I'm going to be a little biased. I've seen him run here before. No, I can't say that. But then I'm going to go with at the same time. No.
No.
I don't want to root against anybody, and I'm not going to necessarily pull for anybody. There's so many people out there who have so much talent. Again, this is not a super speedway, but
We're gonna
anything can
accept
happen.
voting.
We are good, all right. But anything can happen at any
accept.
point in time on this track, so we're going to keep an eye out for it. But give me a second while we blue screen, and we are going to go Indy racing, y'all. All right, there we are, loaded in. Tackleberry, Spanker, D-Nub, Tex Pelt, Woodruff, Wildcard Coyote, Mr. NASCAR, Trey, Jake, Matt BW, Coach Matt. That's who I was definitely thinking about saying. But again, Checkmate Taylor, I'm Captain Jack Napa fan, Young Boy Terrell, Go With The Flow, Coach Matt, and then obviously us in the broadcast booth too. So do you need an invite, Robbie?
Let me.
80 laps at Indy. It's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, most definitely. My pick for tonight, I'm going to go with. I'm going to actually pick two. Obviously, I support the guys at Colour Motorsports, but pulling away from that, I'm going to say D-Nub or Keith Ayres, Mr. NASCAR himself.
And he's put on some pretty good show lately
Going
too.
down the backstretch,
Yeah.
heading into turn 3, he's got the 8 pulling to his outside. The 8 and 48 are trying to get a little bit of a run. 8 runs a little bit wide with that extra speed, not able to carry through the corner. Oh, he tags the wall a little bit. He holds it up there. Everybody gets by him nice and clean as Jake and the rest of the field are heading down into turn 4 as they're going to bring it down the front stretch.
There we are. Yep, I'm loaded in. Jake in that 00 car. I'm going to say it just one time just to see if I can get a reaction out of him. The not Buck car.
The Buck Buck.
Going to jump back here because I think I saw somebody. There it is, Coach Matt. He's sitting here in 4th, and that was going to be one of those guys I wanted to predict. Again, yes, he is a teammate of mine, but it's not beyond that. He puts in a lot of time and a lot of hard work, and I've talked to him in the past about him liking that. So, again, I'm not necessarily going to put any predictions out there as that 48 scrapes the wall down that long backstretch here, but Coach Matt was definitely one I definitely was going to put in mind. Spanker in this 24 car looks like he's going to have a little bit of work rate cut in front of him. He's got to back these corners up a little bit. There's Woodruff to the outside. Can he make it stick? He gets to the inside of that 38 car. I knew who that is. That's my buddy. It's my homeboy from Illinois, Tackleberry. They go 3 wide. Tackle backs out of it. 88 car right there to the high side. Spanker's still going to pull down to the inside. No contact between the 34 and 24 and the 38 guys. Great racing early in this.
Checkmate's going to run on the inside of Jake. The 48's going for the lead. Checkmate clears and not going to hold it. With that extra momentum, it's really tough here. As they get it clean through 1. Diving back down to 2 is the 2 of Coyote actually gets by Jake 2. He's going to move himself up into 2nd. These cars are going to go blazing down this backstretch here at Indy.
Yeah, over 200.
There, sitting in 4th. What's he going to do? You know, Jake being such a strong driver that he is, he's been dominating most of this season. He dominated last season in the Xfinity Series as well. What's Coach Matt going to do? Is he going to sit there nice and comfortably behind Jake, or do you reckon he's going to make a move?
I'm going to say will he make a move? Yes. This early in the race, no. Again, we're doing 80 laps tonight. The season is winding down. Limited chances to get a W here in the Preset Cup on Sunday nights here, season 4. So your chances are running out. But you can't win on the first lap. We've preached that. We've talked about it. Patience is a virtue. So will he make a move? Yes. Later in the race, without a doubt.
Well, it looks like he might make that move now as Jake goes a little bit high, and he's going to stick his nose underneath him, but he's not going to be able to get the run as Jake's going to have the draft going down the backstretch.
Just flicking through the field here. We've got a lot of these guys are just going to sit single file. There is a lot of laps to go. Just going to take their time. As I say that, the number 1 of Mr. NASCAR takes that spot away from the 71 of Young Boy Terrell racing for Colour Motorsports. Taking back a little bit more. We've got a little bit more action of the 18 of Napa fan. He's currently making moves up the field as well.
And we got ourselves a little K-Taddy nugget out there. He's a question for the broadcasters. Who is the most winningest driver from Giggity Preset Cup? Giggity Preset Cup to win here at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That one has me stumped.
Well, I don't know if Noco's won here, but if Noco has won here, it would be him.
It looks like Captain Jack back here in this 8 car, sitting in that 5th position, is going to throw me for a little bit of a loop tonight with his paint scheme. Glad I'm starting to remember these numbers. And then, of all things, guess what? We're going to mix the numbers up. So we do that twice a year, and it's a little confusing. But as of right now, glad I remember that number. Again, he packs it in a corner here, pushes it up a little high. Got to back these corners up just a little bit. Here comes that one car, going to make a move to the inside, too. Great looking paint scheme on that car. That's what happens if you get out of the groove. Do not go below that white line, which we just saw. That's very lucky. Sometimes right there, you'll throw your apex off, or you'll do that that Texas two-step dance. The rear end will jump out and spin you around, or scrape the wall like that because it'll throw your complete entry angle off. Yes, entry angle is a big thing here.
Going back to that question that Teddy
exit
asked,
angle.
I'm thinking that he might have something to do with that answer, is the fact that he popped that out there.
I was thinking about that too.
Because that's a random fact to just know.
Spanker, Season 2 champ. Spanker has 2 wins in Precept Cup, leading all drivers. Ah, look at that. Here comes
Congratulations to Pudding for saying it right as well.
And here comes Kid Coyote, excuse me, Wild Card in that 2 car. He's going to make a move to the inside of 48. Jake's going to let these guys dice it out, sit back a little bit. Car gets a little wiggly. He's going to miss it. Jake's going to take advantage of that coming down. Nope, he does not want to go along that white line. We were just talking about that. Get back in the draft. That's what Jake's going to do. It looks like Coach Matt back there is falling off his pace just a little bit. As long as you get there at the air, though, you still be able to stick with that lead pack. New leader is that 2 car, Wild Card Coyote. And there is some trouble brewing. The 2 cars working behind that one, that 8. That's Captain Jack right back there too. And that 1 car, I'll give you information on him in just a second. Don't want to leave him out, but they are working together. 2 cars can catch 4 cars here, especially with the corners. If you miss your apex, that's Mr. NASCAR in that 1 car. So the 1 and 8 working together. They are definitely going to reel in that 37 to Coach Matt in that awesome looking orange car. Kid Coyote, excuse me, Wild Card toes up just up the banking just a little bit. 48 says nope, I could make it, but I'm not going to push it. Short shoot's not a good spot to pass that. Going in or coming off of the corners, not in the short shoots right there. So going into 1, great passing spot. Going into 3, great passing spot. 4 possibly, but at the same time in between, not so much.
Going back to what Tati said earlier, he put in the comment section about the person having the most amount of wins at Indy. The actual answer is Noco. Archangel was right. Noco has 3 wins here, 1 at Xfinity and 2 in Custom Cups. So congratulations to Noco. I know he's such a fast driver as well, and he can be really.
I mean,
really
he's all right. I mean, he's no pudding, but Noco's all right.
We love you, Pudding.
48.
Action.
Yeah, I was just going to say the 48 again is getting just a little bit wiggly. These are preset sliders tonight. These are not custom cars, so everybody might be on something a little bit different, something way loose for the qualifier. Get yourself up there, but we know how much this track loves to eat tires. So we see Captain Jack get way loose back there in the back, still on board with the top 3. Let's click back to that as these guys are single file up front of the line. Coach Matt's falling off the pace. He might have gotten loose. Mr. NASCAR gets around him. Here comes young boy Terrell and Captain Jack to his inside right there too. So fading back a little bit, maybe trying to save some tires, maybe trying to save fuel, or did he get loose? We'll have to talk about that a little bit later. But top 5 car, ooh, hard contact, bounces off the wall. Everybody goes down, try to avoid it. That's not good. That means they're going to lose the draft. 8 pulls in right behind 37 right there. Young boy Terrell's going to take advantage of that.
I was actually on board with Coach Matt earlier. It seems he actually sort of missed his line. Coming around 3 and 4, he didn't hit his marks, and Mr. NASCAR he managed to get his nose just underneath. He had somebody else follow through, and then Captain Jack took the spot away from him also. But you know, keep going, buddy, and we look to see you in the top 5, maybe in the podium tonight.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up too. The speeds that you have here, the mental willingness that you have to, the dedication you have to put into 4 times, you have to be able to hit those marks, hit that throttle. Some people tap the brake to rotate it, some people don't. But the dedication in your mind is not just hold her open and let her eat through 2 corners. You have to hit 4 corners perfectly and hit your marks. Marks, marks, marks. I can verify this. I did this the other night in our great preset Xfinity race. You have to, every time you go around that track, hit that same mark. And then if there's somebody in front of you, take advantage of the draft. You're going to have to back that up. So this is one of those tracks. It's not just a let go fast. It's one of those you have to think about the car in front of you, back of you, and your marks at the same time. Mentally draining.
Well, that's one of the things I love about this track, Puddin', is being one of them guys that backs up his corners a lot earlier than most people. this track favors that driving style because it's really easy to overdrive these corners, which will get you in a lot of trouble. And I think that's something that Coach Matt actually did early, and I think it burned up his tires a lot faster when he was expecting to run this higher speed and this higher pace. And I think that's why we're seeing product of him falling back right now, as these guys are just blistering around this track.
Well, Matt BW back here in that 42 car, he cuts the grass, does a great job, keeps it off of everybody else, but he's going to lose a lot of time and a lot of ground right there.
I want to give a shout out to Tex Pelt back there. He's running 10th right now. I'm actually on his broadcast, so we can get you guys a lap count. We are currently on lap 11 of 80 right now.
Lap, yep, we still got a long way to go. We've been clean and green tonight. And yep, I just over there switching out, looking at YouTube. Dark Humor's out there. What's up to him? My buddy from up in New York. What's up, my cannoli guy? What up there, boy? What are you doing, man? You know?
Yo, how y'all doing? How you doing? You right?
You do no, you don't do it right. No, you can't do it. No, you should stick to doing Stewie Griffin.
Yeah, or my Australian accent, even better.
No, I had
to get yourself a free
Wait, you mean talking normal?
Yeah, you could say that. You wait.
I had the opportunity to hang out with Burntwood. I've raced with him a lot. He's done some development racing over here. Him and his brother are pretty fast, pretty clean guys, and some of the things that I get through text message from old Burntwood too. Good gravy. Yeah. But we're going to stick back here on the old 88 car. That's Woodman. He's behind the 24 car of Spanker, and he's got that 12 with Tex Pelt right there. So these guys working too. They're trying to. We'll go with the flow. Oh, go with the flow. I was just going to say, wait a minute. We're going down the crick. That's right. It's called a crick. For people who don't think, here comes Tex Pelt on the inside of Woodruff. They are trying to catch up to that 37 car back here. That's Coach Matt now 8, or that orange car right there. 38 car, Tackleberry. He's got himself a little bit of a gap. Single file here is very difficult to do, though, especially if you don't have any help. There's good.
Just a slight update for everybody. We still have the 48 of Checkmate Taylor running in first. We have the 00 of Jake Giroux sitting in second. And then we have, I do believe it might be Kid Coyote riding in the number 2.
Yep, I just switched back up.
Coyote, yeah.
Yep, it's always going to be Kid Coyote. Sorry, yes, yeah. I'm sorry. Boomhauer is always going to be Boomhauer. We know him. He's Keystone Cowboy, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? But nope, yeah, I just jumped right on board with them. Ready? You're talking about that. Coyote's trying to get back to that bumper of that 00 as they're trying to keep up with Checkmate and that 48 car. Both cars starting to get a little loose, and that's something that was just mentioned out there by Pratt Patton, one of the guys who was super fast himself. These presets, depending upon what you put on, these tires get chewed up a lot easier, and they start getting loose coming off the corner. Throttle control is going to be another big issue for these guys tonight.
Well, that's the thing with Checkmate.
Right there, 48 gets loose.
We just ran a 100% race here, so Checkmate is really dialed in on this track. His car's dialed in. He's ready to go out here and put on the show for you guys.
And sometimes when you see the car in front of you bounce off the wall, you have a tendency, you want to try to dive down to avoid it, and then that can get you involved in that accident. I've started to myself learn to see what they do, just give it one more split second. Maybe you can pass them on the high side while they're going down, you know, as they bounce down to the low side there. So it looked like that's what happened right there. Jake checked up just a little bit. Coyote, we'll just call him Coyote, that's better. Just Coyote. The Coyote. The one and only right there, and I think I just saw the 48. Is he going to signal? You can signal here, but you still, in order to get into turn 4 or turn 3, have to make that and hit turn 4, so that you cannot take that access lane to get to pit lane. So when you signal, you have to pull back up and make sure that you're far enough ahead of somebody not to disrupt any flow with them. No, he did not pull down. I think he's just trying to get loose, or he's breaking the draft.
I say because we're on lap 15 right now, across the line for 16. I think he's got about 3 or 4 more laps of fuel left in.
Yep, and we see it all the time when we see, at the high-speed courses and stuff. You want to try to get, like right there, down that front straightaway, we saw Checkmate, like you said, dive down and try to break the draft. You cannot pit from pit lane, or in front of pit lane, so that's exactly what he's trying to do. But when you got Kid Coyote and Jake behind him, those guys can keep up with him, though. And see, there he goes again. So now he's trying to break the draft, but when will he signal? What will Jake think about that then, you know?
That's tough.
like you said, he's trying to break that draft, trying to get everything mixed up a little bit, but then, when's he going to pit? So how do you take that? I understand what he's doing, and it seems to be working. Right there he goes, back down to the inside of that long straightaway, but Jake's got just enough of that sniff. He's got Coyote there right with him, too, so those guys were in just enough of a draft. I don't know if I'd be swerving back and forth. You're losing speed, then if you miss something up, you miss your entry angle going into the corner. Here comes Kid Coyote into the inside. That double zero. So, breaking the draft sounds like a good idea, but when you got two cars pushing, you're trying to break that. I wouldn't take a chance of jeopardizing, missing anything there and burning my car up.
Yeah, at this point in the race, I mean, I'll just race my line. If I was running up front, I'd just race the line and I won't even bother breaking the draft. I mean, if the guy behind me wants to pass me, let him pass me. I'll sit behind him. I'll save fuel. I'll save my tyres.
Right.
And
if there's 3 to go, then yes, try to break the draft.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And see right there, it looks like Coyote took advantage of that. Jake fell bait to that, and he followed him down a couple times. Coyote didn't, and he makes the pass on checkmate for the lead. So he sat back and saw those guys in the game they were playing, and he said, I'm not falling for it.
Yeah, the 48 of Checkmate Taylor, he actually made a really smart decision there. You see that number 2 was beside him. He decided to back off and just sit behind him and then take that corner single file. Taking this corner too wide around turn 1 can be very, very difficult, though, boy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Good commentary, buddy.
What?
I believe he's eating.
He just said, definitely.
You got some food to share over there, buddy?
I mean, if y'all want some ramen, there's Checkmate's coming in the pit lane right now, guys.
Here we go. Green flag pit stops. It's always good to see.
He's going to be the first one to pit. Now, if it works out, he should gain over a second on these guys.
Yeah. But will he lose that coming towards the end of the race? If he's not ran solid all the way through, is he going to lose that?
I can tell you from just watching him and running 100% with him, he's fast, man. This is a race that really suits him. He's good at high speed tracks. He's really good at super speedways. This track really fits his style.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Everybody's got preferences on types of tracks, length of tracks. Oh, Woodruff, young boy. And, that's Captain Jack going to miss. Captain Jack he missed pit lane. Cars happen to try to avoid him. He is not going to be a captain right now.
No, not at all. And he made the smart choice there. He sat there waiting for his car to ghost before he made any movement.
And he's still right there. Oh, looks like, there we go. Yeah, so he finally did make it down there, but yeah. I think the captain dry docked that car on the beach on accident.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, waiting there and not wrecking anybody and making sure you just... Yeah, exactly. Unlucky buddy, get some freshies on there, get some fuel, and best of luck for the rest of the run for you.
I'm looking at Trey back here, man. I haven't seen this paint scheme. I like this one. I know it is a Ford, but I like that blue with the silver numbers like that. That's Oh, he smacks the wall. Tex Pelt now coming down. Mr. NASCAR coming down. Coach Matt coming down. So, Snappa fan in the 18. D-Dub in the 14. Go with the flow again. Had himself a mechanical failure. Back on board with Jake right now. And it looks like he's got that 88 Valvoline car. That's the Woodman Woodruff himself up there. And I think we will see Jake come down the pit lane this time as we jump on board with him.
Yeah, we know what Jay's like. He's going to run out of fuel as far as he can and his tyres as far as he can. Make sure he's got freshies for the end of the run. So, smart strategy there from Jake. There's so many guys in pit road right now. This is going to be a hell of a cluster maybe later on in the race.
And it's not certain tracks. It's very easy to go a lap down here. A 2.5 mile track, depending upon where the leader is, you can get in and get off. It's not just your 15-second pit stop. It's the 15 seconds it takes, 20 seconds to get to your pit stop, plus your pit time, and then another 5 to 10 seconds getting off of it. So anywhere from 45 seconds to a minute sometimes, depending upon the length of the track. You got to take that into consideration. But on larger tracks, very difficult to go down a lap.
Well, I'm looking at this after the round of pit stops. If everything comes out as it stands right now, Checkmate has about a 2.5-second lead over Coyote. I'm not sure where Jake is who come out in this rotation, but that strategy by Checkmate to pit early is definitely paid favors for him.
But will it? These guys are going to have 4 fresh tires, like Robbie was just talking about, and tires here is a big issue.
There comes Jake out of the end of pit road right now. Looks like he's going to file out in third.
Coming in early like that while everybody else is pitting, that gives you a chance to back your corners out maybe, save a little fuel, not push the car quite as hard. But at the same time, at the end of the day, your tires will not be as new, as we all know.
For Patton and Coke, you guys, I'm actually waiting to see it flip over. I can't see. I'm waiting for him to get back to the line. Maybe I'll be able to give you guys an accurate lap count. I think we're on lap 23, but don't quote me.
I'm on board with Checkmate now too. That 48 car. He's going down the straightaway. Can you confirm that he is the leader in that little box?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the 48 is the leader. Yep.
And he is by his lonesome, so. But here comes Coyote. Oh, yeah. Don't get me singing that. That's a good song. Who sings that? 3 Dog Night? Is that 3 Dog Night?
Line, so we'll have 57 to go, and the leader hits the line this time.
Yeah, we're on board with Coyote now too as they go into 3 down the short chute right here. These are an 1/8 mile long short chutes. I'm just giving a little dab out to one of my buddies who did this race the other night, Boomhauer. He was calling him something else. I forget what he was calling him, but he was calling it inappropriate. Don't disrespect my Indianapolis.
Were they dog legs?
No, he didn't even call him dog legs. He was calling him something else, but... Got 13 viewers out there in YouTube land. We do appreciate it, and it's great to have everybody out there. So it's why we do it for you guys. We're up over almost 470 subscribers here at the Giggity Racing League. Big changes to come for Season 5. 3 weeks ago here, Season 4. We're going to wrap it up. It's going to be an exciting end here. We've had a pretty okay year this year, ups and downs, but you're going to get that anywhere racing. So, but changes to come. Again, we are going to be doing a Giggity Get Down podcast coming up soon, and y'all need to be there. Do not miss it. Come in, support your race your buddies, your family, your friends, your teammates. Support your league. Anytime you're not racing next weekend, come in here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and watch the races. Support everybody out here in Giggity.
Looks like Mr. NASCAR's out of the race, guys.
Oh no, that's unfortunate for him too, because he was showing some speed there.
Yeah, he's definitely parked on pit road.
Yeah, I didn't see any moving out of him there. I'm on board with the 88 car now. Oh, Woodman clips that wall coming up there. Again, 15, 20 years ago, long before that, before the safer barrier, that you could have taken that up there. There's that 3-foot gap. You got to be able to miss that. You can see it there. He clipped that safer barrier coming out. He's got that spanker car in front of him. It looks like the 24.
Bit of trivia for you. So, which 3 drivers in Giggity Racing League? Go back in a couple of laps and we'll tell you.
Oh, Puddin', and Puddin'.
Most amount of wins.
Puddin', everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially custom motorcycle in Mid-Ohio.
Oh man, I'm gonna say, because UK had such a dominant year last year, I'm gonna throw him up there in like 3rd. I'm gonna put Jake in 2nd. I'm gonna say they're all NOCO drivers. I'm gonna put NOCO in 1st. Actually, I'd put Jake in front of NOCO. I think Jake's probably the most winningest driver in the series.
We'll give it a couple more laps, and then I'll go ahead and give you the answers. Matt BW in the McDonald's car, making me hungry, riding that 42. We've got Woodruff in the 88, looking nice and smooth now after pounding that wall.
What do you think, Puddin'? Good talk, buddy.
I think he's just gone for a quick break, so these boys here, they just got themselves spread out. I'm not quite sure. I think we've got a bit of engine failure from Mr. NASCAR. That's real unfortunate. Pop into the YouTube channel, buddy, and the comment section. Let us know what happened.
Sorry guys, had to take a split second there.
34 Trey taking the outside line, coming into 3 around the 14 of D-Nub. Coming into 4 now. Is he going to get a crossover? He just sits back in line.
Yeah, he definitely got a little bit loose up there. It looked like he was getting to tag the wall or tag the car on the inside. And, good job by the drivers to hold it together and keep going forward. As this battle for the lead is slowly starting to creep closer together, as these top 3 are finally starting to get back together. Checkmate still got about a second and a half lead over Coyote. He's probably got about a half second lead over Jake.
Jake's right there. He's catching in on that too with Coyote. Go ahead, Robbie. I apologize.
So the answer to the question, I'm actually going to give you the top 5. So the top 3 is Jake, Noko, and KT. That's throughout all series. And then in 4th we have Smitty, and in 5th we have UK. UK banging out an absolute amazing season last season in the truck series, and he's doing pretty well in the Xfinity series as well this season.
As he's leading the points and trying to earn himself another championship as he works his way through the series, and it's awesome to see, man. You couldn't have no better guy. UK is an awesome competitor. But man, I was so close to getting that crap right.
It's not crap. That's valuable knowledge.
Well, I almost had that valuable knowledge right.
Yeah, Kid Coyote is I'm on board with Jake right now. Looks like he's slowing down just a little bit. I don't know what's going on there, but Jake is definitely in his draft now. If these guys work together, they will be able to catch that 48 of Checkmate and work their way back up.
Here's the thing, we know that these guys are not in the same chat party, so Wildcard, is he going to think to himself, is Jake going to take this position from me? As I say that, he just goes on the inside of him and he's going for the position, but, let's see if he rides the draft. Yeah, I think Wildcard's just going to ride the draft here, and then off they go, trying to catch the 48 of Checkmate Taylor. Go boy.
It'll be 50 to go as the leaders cross the line this time, guys.
And we're still clean and green here. We haven't had to say the old RS sentence or statement.
What?
Rack 'em and stack 'em.
Oh.
We're just gonna say Raz from now on. I'm getting lazy at my old age. We're just gonna Raz. Doesn't sound as good though, does it?
No.
Hey, it's an idea.
It works.
Robbie just straight says no.
Well, you got to tell it how it is. There's no point beating around the bush. You all know me. I'm a nice guy, but yeah, I'll just shoot you down right there and then.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that.
Jake's gotten around the 2 for that second position.
And they are tracking down 48.
Fastly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where those newer tires are going to. Are those newer tires for these guys behind him? Are they going to? Is that going to benefit these guys compared to Checkmate in that 48?
I was just about to say that. Yet again, me and Puddin being on the same wavelength, known each other that long. I mean, I was talking about Puddin today. Well, I was actually talking about Puddin today to Morbear. And we've known each other, what, about a year and a half now, buddy?
What were you telling her? What were you telling her about my studly good looks?
No, there's a whole bunch of words I can't say on broadcast, so. Sucks to be you right now.
Ma Bear, we'll have a conversation later.
Yeah, most definitely. So, next trivia question is, who's had the most amount of top fives?
Oh. Well, you're going to have to take some of those guys you just said, since a win is considered in the top 5.
I'm gonna say it's old Mr. Consistent Mark Martin. We're gonna go with K-Teddy.
Don't forget, it's just throughout all series.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Teddy.
See, I've only been part of
choose top 3.
I've only been part of Giggity since July of last year when I started broadcasting, and again, I was voluntold by Taddy last year, you're not broadcaster or commentating anymore, jump in one of my all-star cars. So for the year and a half that I know, I'm going back from the times that I've had to do these races. Who have I talked to the most? In my mind, who have I talked to the most is Jake, Noko, and UK, but there's seasons beyond me that I'm not aware of, so...
Well, and looking at that and judging by that, and also you got to take into factorization that Taddy now has 2 full seasons in the Dirt Series too that he doesn't rarely finish outside the top 5. So,
oh yeah,
we're not. Are we considering Taddy up there?
Oh,
power move by Wildcard. They come out of 4 and he just grabs that draft and just dives it on the inside of Jake down the straightaway, and just. He has it done before they even get to turn 1. Wow, what a move.
Yeah, I saw that little Chevy on Ford, Chevy Crime going on up here for the top 3. These guys definitely putting on one heck of a battle.
Did you say that Ford in second was a Chevy?
I said Chevy, Ford, Chevy Crime. Get it right. Coke FN out there, he says me. He says me, I have the most top 5s.
Who?
This guy named Coke. Coke FN.
Who, me?
I know karate. There's so much talent out here, though, in getting through all series. You know, trucks, dirt, development, all the way up to our custom cups. It's unbelievable. Again, we're almost up to 470 subscribers, which is fantastic. This is going to be awesome. Cannot wait to see what's going to happen the next year. Are we going to be able to hit that 500 mark? And when are we going to get to that elusive 1,000 subscriber mark? Mauled Bear.
Yeah, she told you about what that talking is going to be about, huh?
She's favoring Robbie right now because the old Bear family over there is getting some artwork done by the old Picasso himself, as we see Jake right there on the rear bumper of Coyote going into turn 1 as they're trying to suck up on that rear bumper of that 48 of Checkmate Taylor.
About to give you guys a lap count right here as Tex Fells getting ready to go across the line on the broadcast. We have 45 laps remaining, y'all. We're almost halfway through this race.
Wow, that's gone fast.
Yes, very fast, and a little juke and jive move right there by the second place and the third place caller with Jake and Coyote. And what do you mean? I don't know what Kate Taddy's talking about me talking all the time. I'm a very silent person. I don't have much to say.
I think he wants to hear the British accent more. I think that's what he's trying to say. That being said...
Nobody said that.
the answer to your trivia question of who's had the most amount of top 5s, we have... Tatty, Smitty, My Buddy Noko.
You?
No, My Buddy Noko. Alright, so the next question I got for you. What drivers have participated in some sort of e-sport event? So I'll say that again for you. What drivers have participated in a e-sport event that are taking part in Giggity Racing League or have taken part in Giggity
Well,
Racing League?
I know Acceptness did that one fundraise that they did before the E-League really started. As we see, that 48 car looks like he is signaling he came down pit lane, so I know he did one, but that was like a fundraise. But
I think we got about 3, maybe 4.
Well, I definitely know my buddy Coke,
Fluffy,
Fluffy,
and Acceptness.
Well, Keffer, he's on an anonymous guy that runs every now and then on Wednesday nights. AJ Storm runs on Wednesday nights. So, oh, car getting way loose back there trying to figure out who it was. I still don't want to take my eyes off of these guys up here as the leader just
I think it was
because.
Spanker.
Oh no, we actually have our third driver of the night have some engine failure. That is the 14 of
D-Nub.
D-Nub 52.
That's unfortunate. Jake's going to use that draft, going to go down right into the yard of bricks, gets to the inside fender. He's going to have the preferred line. Yes, Coyote's going to back out of it. Jake overdrives it. Coyote still stays on that high preferred line, but Jake handled that very nicely. New leader as of right now.
Well, each manufacturer's had an engine failure so far. We've got a Chevy, a Ford, and a Toyota all sitting on pit lane.
So a Ford, and a Ford. All right, good to know.
Somebody tell him he's on mute.
Something else too, we were talking about, if you can poke the inside nose down to your car going into a corner here, that's going to force those guys to run that second line, which is not the preferred line here. You slow down just a little bit, but you got to be careful not to drift up into them and hit perfect. But that's a great way of passing. We just saw Jake do that down the front straightaway right there. Coyote's right there on his rear bumper. He's glued. He hasn't pulled off of it completely in the draft. Not going to pull out right there. Will he make a move going down the back stretch going into turn 3, or are they going to pit next time by? As we just see, I believe that's young boy Terrell right there coming off. He comes off clean and green right there too. These guys really working hard tonight here. We have yet to see a caution, which was fantastic.
We got Woodruff and Chesterfield both on pit lane. As I'm looking at it right now, we got 42 to go.
Sorry, I'm a bit quiet, guys. I'm just doing my social media things. And, I've been quite busy on the social media side of things lately, trying to push this game out there. Definitely trying to push Giggity out there. And
Kid Coyote to pit lane.
Young boy smacked that wall.
Kid Coyote, he made some contact coming in the wall, but Jake stays out. So Kid Coyote by himself. Same thing with Checkmate in that 48 car. He pitted by himself too. Utilized the draft from somebody else maybe, but again, different pit strategies for the top 3 guys.
Well, I'm thinking if Jake can stretch it another lap or two, and I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make it on one more stop. Or the rest of this field is probably going to have to stop at least 1.5 times, second time you get a splash and go.
Coach Matt on pit lane. Spanker on his 24. He's right there following that 0-0 of Jake. Young boy still behind them. We know he's a lap down because he just came off pit lane. He will be able to get that lap back when Jake comes down to pit lane. And now Jake is now coming down the pit lane. Jake now on the pit lane.
He does that with 40 to go, so he could break this up into 2 20-lap segments here, guys.
And K-Taddy said, Robbie's question, who's the only Giggity driver to participate in esports and Giggity both full-time? That was the question.
Yeah.
You need to reword that differently.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you confused me today when you were talking about, making your daughter lunch. You're like, we're going to have beans on bread. I'm like, what?
I didn't say bread. I said beans on toast, and then she was having a go at me.
Yeah, well, beans on toast, too. Still, same thing.
Yeah. And she was like, no, Daddy, I'm having beans off toast. I was like, no, you're having beans on toast, mate. And she goes, no. She goes, you're having beans on toast, and I'm having beans off toast with her nose in the air. Meaning putting the beans not on the bread. Well, like, all right. Smarty pants.
Yeah, beans on toast. I'm asking the same question, K-Taddy. I'm asking the same thing.
It's SOS.
Oh, you do have a cute little daughter. I don't think I've seen pictures of her. Never actually got to talk to her a little bit. Didn't really want to talk to me, which I don't blame her. But yes, you got yourself a cute little one. If we're going to bring back to this action here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we're on board with the 48 of Checkmate Taylor. Again, I'm going to presume that he's going to be the leader after all of this.
And the answer to your question is Coke. Coke FN, also known as Cola Motorsports, team captain of Cola Motorsports. Your captain, buddy.
Oh, that's right. Yes, my captain and my buddy. Yeah, hey, yeah, you're right.
Do you cook these half the time and then flip them?
Sorry, guys. Mrs. Pudding's trying to figure out how not to burn the house down while cooking dinner tonight, which would be a fantastic
Shock.
change. That would
Shock.
be yeah. That would
Hit
be
him
a
with the sandal.
no. One night she didn't. She did catch the stove on fire making her dinner one night. I'm doing the broadcast and I'm like, fire!
I can hear this beeping noise. I'm like, Pudding. He's like, yeah. I can hear a beeping noise. Holy crap! Next thing you hear, what are you doing, woman?
Who's the only driver to have a fire while racing? Or broadcasting.
Broadcaster. Is she cooking beans on toast? No burnt wood, she's not. The night she was cooking caught the stove on fire, she was making her nasty ass tuna patties, which Woodruff loves to give me grief about every night. You eating tuna patties? No, Woodruff, we are not eating tuna patties. But here, we got to get back to this racing here at Indianapolis. Kid Coyote is right there back with Jake. Jake's going to be on pressured tires. He pitted one lap after them. Can they work together and get back to that 48? These guys have been the class of the field, and each one of their different pit strategies always seems to put them, amongst each other. So, like you just called it there, Doughboy, with Jake being on one lap faster tires and having just that extra little bit of fuel. Is that going to get him one lap here at the historic 2.5 mile Indianapolis Motor Speedway to get himself a W?
Sorry, Doughboy was my fat evil brother who's gone. It is Archangel Cloud.
Oh, sorry. Well, he's
Sorry, I couldn't help it. Man,
we're on board with Coach Matt right now. Coach wants to know where Young Boy and Coach are. Again, I would have. Coach was one of the guys that, like I said, pre-race. I didn't say it, but he's been looking real good. We're going to be a rundown here. Coach was definitely running in the top 4 or 5. Got loose, shuffled himself back a little bit, but we do have Archangel Cloud, over there on board. So we'll see if we can get you a rundown when he can get clicked over there.
Yeah, I'm over here. I'm watching it right now. I'm just waiting to see. He's got it on lap counter right now, so we're on lap 45 of 80, y'all. Looks like Tex Pelson's 6th, so I'm trying to see if I can find out where Matt is in relation to him.
How big is this TV?
Come to that point
60.
now, where fatigue's going to start kicking in. These boys that are on wheels, it can be quite tiring doing this track on wheels, I can tell you that. When I did my custom race here, I was absolutely exhausted. You got those long straights, yeah, but you got to concentrate the whole time, because one mistake, that's it. That could be your race.
Yeah, split seconds here. Clipping Walsh not being in the draft, it'll bite you in the rear in the long run.
I'm going to say Coach Matt's in 9th, right behind Woodruff. Who else were you looking for?
Young Boy Terrell in that 71.
He's in 5th.
So Young Boy is in 5th.
Spanker is 4th, and obviously we know our top 3.
So while we've got a minute, I'm just going to go through the points here. Just going to quickly bring them up, just bear me for a second. Right, so sitting on the pole in points for the championship, we have Jake in 1st. We have Captain Jack, he's in 2nd. In 3rd, we have Tackleberry.
Tackle!
In 4th, we have, your man Tackle. In 4th, we have Smitty. In 5th, we have Coyote. 6th, we have Woodruff. 7th, we have Trey. In 8th, we have Spenker. In 9th, we have Matt BW. And Checkmate Taylor is actually sitting in 10th in points, so him getting this win tonight can really, really do him a favour. It'll definitely take him up a few spots. We've got Kay Larson sitting in 11th. We've got Tex Pelt sitting in 12th. Alex Ned, he's 13th in points. Napa Fan, he's 14th. In 15th, we have Coach Matt. 16th, we have D-Nub, so that's going to sort of suck for him tonight, having that engine failure. Dirty Boy Jackson, that's actually a driver we've not seen tonight. He's sitting in 17th in points.
Yeah, some of those names we haven't seen for a while. It's going to cost him in points. A lot of these guys too make it every week, so sometimes if somebody else can't make it and you can, that definitely helps you out in points. Again, 48 right there. I don't know if he's getting loose or if he is trying to do the draft break dance, you know. But Jake's right on that 48 of Checkmate Taylor's rear, and I'm trying to see where that 2 car is of Coyote. So. It looks like it's dwindled down a little bit, because if these guys get hooked up, that's going to make it so much harder for that 2 car of Coyote to catch up to them. Right there he is. Coke out there in YouTube land, he says dirt on a wheel. And the emoji he used, I think that's the frustration emoji. Frustration.
Yeah, it is unbelievably hard. Dirt on a wheel is really hard. I don't advise it for anybody. It's horrible.
These 2 leaders up there. Oh, look, right there. Can Jake get around him? Checkmate barely touches that wall. He's going to stay in the draft, doesn't make any move. Will he pull out just in a split second, dive down into turn 1? No, he won't. They're going down into turn 1 into that 8th mile short shoot here going into turn 2. Can he have something? Will he have something going into turn 3? Can he take the lead? He is on fresher tires. But again, now keeping up with him, driving hard like this, he is using those fresher tires up just a little bit. But he's saving fuel. That's going to be a big key factor for us here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So let's see how it all prevails for Jake. Yeah, young boy, it looks like he's sitting back and forth apparently, because that's Coyote right there in 3rd. So, excuse me, Coyote. So I think young boy's 4th, Coyote, Jake, and Checkmate Taylor rounding out the top 4 from what I can see right now.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I think at this point in time, you know, if I know Jake, you know, I was in the same team as him last season. I think he's just going to play it a bit patient. We can see that Checkmate Taylor's getting a little bit loose. As I say that, Jake takes it outside and Checkmate just lets him go. But Jake, he played it patient. You could see that Checkmate was getting loose, and he just waited and waited and waited to make his move.
Ooh, young boy scrapes the walls. We're on board with him right there. Trying to click through the field. There's a little bit of a battle right here. We're on board with Woodruff, and he's got Coach Matt right in front of him. 30 to go. Wonder where that puts him on fuel. Trying to think.
That puts everybody within about 7 to 10 laps of pit. And the only one that I think can go full 10 laps is that 00 car. He might be able to go 11, get it underneath 20 to go, and that'll be his last stop.
We're on board right now with that 37 of Coach Matt. He's got that 18 of Snappa Fan right in front of him. Woodruff right behind them too. The nice little battle. Let's see how Coach Matt be able to work this off. He stays in the draft coming up turn 4 down this long historic straightaway here. Again, we see a lot of green grass in between pit lane and the start finish line and the front straightaway. Not here at Indianapolis. You don't have a very wide straightaway here. If you get touched or bumped, you're going straight into that pit wall. Imagine being back in the day when they didn't have radios and you had to be the signal guy, the board guy, standing in the middle of that, hanging that thing over, and you see a car coming diving at you. You want to talk about that whole moment of duck?
I think that'd be your job, Puddin'.
I would do it too. I'd do it in a heartbeat. Coach Matt.
Okay, guys. So it's come to that point now. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to shoot off, but I'll tell you what, it's been absolutely planned. I know. It's been fantastic being in the booth with you. I've stayed for as long as I can. The racing is absolutely amazing, and I'm going to root for Jake for the win. No offense to Checkmate. I mean, if he gets this, it's going to be unbelievable. He's going to be over the moon about it. But yeah, good luck, guys. Have fun in the booth, and I shall catch you guys later.
Thanks, man. Good luck with it. He's talking about that. Good luck tonight, man. It's always a pleasure being up here.
And make sure you run my setup. The one I gave you. The one that you're using.
Well, he's done and gone. Now that makes it at the end of this race, too. Well, at the end of this race, we're going to have you help me, suggest these guys up here. I'm now the party owner and doing the broadcast. That way we won't have to blue screen one time just for a split second. Jake still looks like he's now in the lead. Checkmate Taylor in that 48 car. These guys are starting to pull away from Coyote and Young Boy just a little bit. Jake pulls that high side just a little bit. trying to save a little bit of time, trying to save some line, and he looks like he's getting either loose or he's trying to do that draft break game. I don't know. He went way down below that white line. Again, I can't imagine him signaling unless he's going to short pit while knowing everybody else might not have to. But, you know, trying to
I
play.
don't see him short pitting because we're still 25 laps out, and there's no way he can make it from here.
Oh, checkmate. He hits that wall real hard on the outside. He's going to lose 2-3 cars. Again, I mean, I like the whole idea of draft break, but at the same time, anytime you move left to right, whether you're on a controller or a wheel that takes a chance of making a mistake, there's just an added effort, you know. Let them pull up in your draft. If they want to get around you, that's fine. Let them go by, get in their draft, save some fuel, save some tires that way. But you're making the track longer at the same time, plus you're adding more unnecessary chance of spinning out, in my opinion. So I mean, I get it, but with 20-some laps to go, it's too early to be dancing around like that, in my opinion. But
look at these guys. This checkmate's trying to make a move. He's not able to pull up there, but he's showing Jake that he's still got something underneath the hood of that car for him. He is not letting him get away at all.
Not one bit. Jake's going to try to break the draft again, and look, well, checkmate. He goes down a little bit too low right there. Jake pulls back up, come across that start-finish line, that yard of bricks. He goes going to back up there, and look, all that did was bring checkmate closer after that mistake he just made by Jake going back and forth like that. So that's what I'm talking about. Checkmate hates the wall. He hits real pretty good. Knocks it down just a little bit. Still in that draft, though, but it just proves that that little draft break game is, if Jake gets into the wall a little bit, that playing that little draft break game, as we see checkmate anticipated, he's still right there on the rear bumper. It's actually giving him a chance to close up. So, you know, they said it in a movie. Again, I don't want to get sued. We all know what it is, but playing peekaboo in that rearview mirror is not always the best chance, you know, especially this late race and how much we got to go.
Yeah, and I don't like looking in that mirror too much. I use it for
checkmate the pit lane. Go ahead.
This 24 laps to go as he's pit. I do not think he can make it that far, but I don't see it happening, man. I don't. I think it's impossible.
Well, now that he has no pressure from behind or in front of him, he doesn't have to push it hard. Can he save a lap or two? Is that what we're assuming he's going to need? Spanker back here in that 24 car, right there with that 2. That's the wild card Coyote himself. He's been up in the top 3 most of the time. He's got that 24 car bearing down on him now. But now with no pressure in front or back of him, this gives Jake a chance to save just a little bit. Is that little bit what it's going to be needed to get to the yard of bricks for that checkered flag here at Indianapolis?
And I'm going to check in Texpelt finally comes down pit lane, but I think a full tank of fuel only gets him 20 laps here.
Oh, again, I think Coyote just got loose coming off of that, and then it looks like he's going to pull back up. Even if he did get loose, or even if he was trying to break the draft, Spanker is still right there with him in that 24. Any unnecessary movements like that, hard twitches on your controller or wheel, can, definitely cause major problems in the long run. So I don't see that in the need in playing that game. You know,
no, me neither. Even though it's a battle for position, the risk versus reward just doesn't pan out.
No, exactly. I mean, the risk of winning or the getting up there, yes, or wrecking, yes, but the reward of winning, putting yourself in the box is there. But we talk about it all the time. In order, Spanker in that 24 car going to make a move to the inside of 2 of Coyote. Coyote goes just a little bit wide. He's going to let him go. Is he going to try to pull back a little, save a little bit in his draft? Looks like no, because here comes 24 car going down to his pit lane right now, as we see 2 right there of wild card. He's now by himself. Anytime you make a track longer, you slow yourself down. Anytime you make any evasive maneuvers, you slow yourself down. I can verify this. I can vouch for this. We all know. I'm not going to get into it, but any unnecessary movements can cost you in the long run. So we'll see how it pans out for him.
Right now, as Texpelt's on pit road, a full tank of fuel here gets him 20 laps. So the guys that are pitting this lap are barely going to be able to make it, if make it at all. So Jake will be the only driver I would say is going to be safe on fuel from here to the end of the race, and that is going to be possibly what could win him this race today.
Yeah, well, it's not over until it's over. Again, just because we've been in clean and green this far into it, it's still an 80-lap race. We have yet to see a caution here. Preset Season 4 Cup racing at Indianapolis on a Sunday night. But anything can happen, you know. Hopefully it doesn't.
160 laps since we've seen a caution, because yesterday's Xfinity race went caution-free also.
Yes, yep, exactly. So again, that was fun race.
Oh, that was a great race. We're going to see how this turns out. I really think that Jake is the only one that's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm on board with him right now.
Pitted.
Yeah, I'm on board with him right now, seeing how it's going to pan out. And it looks like he is going to bypass pit lane one more time as he's passing that 88 of Woodruff. So Woodruff is going to go another lap down. Yeah, I participated in that Homestead race yesterday. It went clean and green all the way, too. We had a little couple miss-ups, foul-ups in there, but everybody seemed to make it to the end. It was still great racing. Or we only had 3 cautions here in preset Xfinity on Saturday night last week, not just last night. So Indianapolis provides great racing here in Giggity Racing.
It definitely does, and it's one of the drivers. It's a driver's track, man. You go out here, you're high speed, you're low braking, you're drafting, you're moving, you're jucking, you're jiving. This is just a fun track to be at. As I'm pretty sure Jake's coming down pit road this time as he signaled Spanker going down the backstretch.
Thanks, Burntwood. I don't know if it was much as me choking or having contact being made with somebody else, but that was of no fault of my own. But again, we're going to keep going tonight. Thanks for bringing stuff up there, buddy. Hope it's a great night. Hope you and your cannoli are having a great night up in New York watching this great racing, buddy.
Jake and Kid Coyote actually stayed out just as long as he did.
Yeah, so does that put something in for them too? As I'm on board with Checkmate Taylor in that 48. He's coming down that backstretch, going into 3 and 4 here. He's going through the short street, now going into 4. So if they're still on pit lane, this will put Checkmate Taylor back out there in the lead. These guys will have 4 fresh tires. What's that going to do for his fuel? He's been running by himself here.
Checkmate's gonna have the lead, but I don't know if he's I don't know if he's gonna be able to save an extra 2 laps of fuel, because I'm pretty sure he came in with 22 to go.
He's by himself. If he backs corners up, it finds a car to draft with, maybe, as I'm on board with Coyote. He just got passed, so he's coming on the backstretch, going to use that long access road exactly how you're supposed to do it. And I see the 37 of Coach Matt. He's got Tex Pelt in his sights right now too. Everybody's strategy is now. Oh, Young Boy is now the newest victim to mechanical failure, and he was running in the top 5. Checkmate. Coach Matt makes real quick work of Tex Pelt in that 37, so can he get something up there? But yeah, Young Boy in that 71 had himself a hot rod. He was sitting there in the top 5. Go ahead.
That put Coach Matt in the 5th right there with that pass.
So Coach Matt up there in the 5th. Go get him, buddy. Go get him. But is he going to be able to make it to the end?
I don't think so.
If we see anything, even on worn tires, that people have to come down, I can't see nothing but more than a splash and go. We'll try to get that for you real quick here. Mr. Burntwood up there in New York, he wants to know what the rundown is. I'm going to say that I know for a fact now, obviously Coach Matt's in 5th, Jake is in the top 5, Coyote's in the top 5, and then 48 of Checkmate Taylor is also probably leading this race, so I'd have to go Checkmate.
4th is Spanker, 5th is Coach Matt, 6th is Tex Pelt.
So, okay. And here he comes. Jake Giroux's going to come up on the outside of that 88 car. He's going to make room around it. So Spanker's right there. So it's 48. So we're going to go what? Checkmate, Coyote, Spanker, Jake, and Coach, our top 5. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, Coach Matt is 5th, followed by Tex Pelt in 6th. 7th is Trey. 8th is Tackleberry.
All right, there
and
we
actually,
go.
Spanker has leapfrogged Coyote because Coyote's sitting in fourth as he just switched over his camera.
All right. So there's a little bit of a change. Paul Bear wants to know where Napa Fan is. Napa Fan's fallen off the pace a little bit earlier. I know he's a lap down. So sorry guys, trying to keep up with the action, but thanks for all your help tonight there. Archangel, not Doughboy, Archangel, for keeping us in the loop. These guys are putting on one heck of a race for us. We're trying to provide everything out there for you, keep you up to date. Things change every lap to lap, but everybody spread out after that last, what could possibly be last set of pit stops, if not second to last set of pit stops.
And like I said, I think for the majority of the field, 50 to 75% of this field, they're going to have to come down for a splash and go.
There's Napa Fan in that 18 Skittles car. He's coming down the straightaway. He's got somebody coming up from behind him. No pressure in front of him. That's a 48 car, so it looks like the 18 might be going down another lap. Jake Drew also coming down that straightaway right there. So he's trying to chase. They're going into turn one, so I do believe it might be 48 of Checkmate and Jake sitting in second. Then Kid Coyote.
Kid Coyote's in fourth.
But yeah, so
Spanker's third.
Spanker, Kid Coyote, and Coach Matt. That's your top five. There we go. We're working on it.
We're organizing this.
We're trying. All right. I mean, this isn't bad for both of our first time being up here.
Yeah, dude, we're rookies. Didn't you guys know that?
It was spur of the moment.
Great.
Golly.
You know, these guys don't understand how hard our job is, but
It's not easy, especially since they don't give us rundowns like they do in other racing organizations and other racing games. Something I really would like to see them do, because if you look at the Heat 4 forum, how many people out there have leagues with broadcasters and stuff? They have to know how difficult it is. And I know I've seen it personally, and I've requested it myself. Put a broadcast. Oh, there's the 18 and Napa Fan trying to get out of this way, doesn't know where to go. Here comes Checkmate Taylor right there, but make it easier. Give us lap times with real life lap times and counters. Oh, we do appreciate them having the track map in the lower left hand corner with that one number, but it would. So let's see how it all pans out.
That's where we appreciate our other drivers that can go live and stuff like that so much for giving us another broadcast. Had not been for TexPelt tonight, we wouldn't be able to check this out and give you guys lap counts and fuel counts and stuff like that. So it definitely helped the race out a lot.
Yeah, and once again, my buddy up there in New York, Burntwood, I get a phone call while I'm out getting dinner. I had a rough night at Homestead. He said, "Hey man, I've never done this thing before. Can you help me out?" So guess what? I'm the rookie, and now Burntwood is the expert. Burntwood knows what to do now.
Come on up here, buddy. We always need extra announcers and broadcasters, man.
But I don't want to get any cannoli sauce on my nice white t-shirt with my black tie.
Oh. My bad. The boss said no.
All right, here we go. We're on board with
13 to go, 12 at the line.
2 of Coyote, or Wild Coyote. Coyote, golly, why'd you gotta change your name? Coyote's right there. He was on the back bumper of that 24 Spanker. That is for position there. Coming up on that 88 of Woodruff in that lap car. Looks like they backed off just a little bit. Woodruff trying to hold on to his position, and looks like Spanker trying to use that draft to get around him. But here comes Coyote right there with him too. If Woodruff going to pull over, let him go up. He's going to try to hold on for this. Coyote blows his mark just a little bit, gets back into the gas, coming down to the short street, trying to get into the rear bumper right there of that 24 car. Woodruff goes up just a little bit to the high side. That's going to give Spanker a chance to try to get underneath him. No, he pulls back up into use him. Uses that draft off the corner, down the backstretch. Here comes Kid Coyote with Spanker for position. He said, "I'm going to use that 88 as a pick." Woo! And he is pulling away from that too. I'm not wondering if Spanker is trying to use the 88 to save a little bit of fuel, because Kid Coyote, or Wildcard Coyote, just said, "Deuces in the air, y'all."
I was up here watching the leader, just trying to keep an eye on and see how things are going, see if he starts backing up any, trying to conserve fuel, or if he ducks on the pit road sometime.
Wow, I can't believe that Coyote, that was for position, and I think that the Spanker is trying to use this 88 car Woodruff as a pick for himself to just try to save some fuel. Coyote obviously feels comfortable out his car enough to make that move and just straight power away from him.
Well, Coyote came down the same time as Jake, so I don't think he's gonna have to worry about fuel. I think he's good to go to the end.
Yep, and I'm now on board with Jake as you're talking about that. He just now gets that rear bumper, the 48. 48 comes down. Checkmate is pitting, so this will be his last pit stop. How is this going to work out? You called this. Does Jake have enough to get to go? How many laps are left?
I think the 48 was speeding.
Oh, so he came down for a splash and go and speeds? That is not going to be good for him.
He looked like he came in pretty hot on broadcast.
Coming in hot.
Yeah, this is not.
No, everybody, that is not smoke detectors going off in the background. She managed not to burn the tater tot. That is the timer, because I know a lot of people are probably concerned after the last fire she started, but we got to get back to this action.
Yeah, guys, if you come down for a splash to go, this is really, really long splash and goes. I'm sitting here watching him on pit road.
Or is he going to try to use floor tires to his benefit? I've done that before, too. That helped me at Darlington, where I ended up getting on the podium. I came down and got 4 tires, where everybody else either got none or 2, and those 4 tires came back and got me on the podium that for my first one this year. How's that going to pan out? We don't know if it was speeding or not, but we'll figure it out here.
That was a really long stop, because the car that come in behind him actually...
He's just now coming off.
Yeah, he was there for a while. I think he come down for a splash and go, maybe some right sides, and
Kid Coyote's going to make the pass to him to the outside. So that's for position 2.
That sucks. He had a really good race going, man. Fuel strategy. Jake played the game, and it looks like his strategy is paying off the best right now. We have 10 laps remaining, everybody. 9 at the line.
You must have confused me for him.
Nice. Puddin's over there getting yelled at.
Yeah, I'm getting yelled at. Yes.
Hopefully she smacks him with the sandal.
No, we do not any flip-flop action tonight. No, there's just, who would have thought amongst some people I used to know there was some drama. Who would have thought? But we cannot take away from the drama on the racetrack right now. 48, did he pit, did he come in too fast? Did he get 4 tires? Again, long straightaway, or long pit lane for him. He is now behind that 2 of Kid Coyote, or excuse me, Wild Card. Golly, Coyote, you're killing me with that. So, of course, I have
Wiley Coyote. We're just going to call him Wiley Coyote.
Jake is still our leader, is that correct? Can you see in that little left-hand box down there? So Jake's still the leader right now.
Jake's still the leader.
Is this going to work out? Now, he's going to have to deal with some lap cars in front of him. Will he use that to save gas, or is that going to throw a pick for him? He's looking pretty smooth right now.
Wasn't the 42 his teammate?
That's a good question. I don't know who Matt BW. Yeah, I don't know who Matt
he drives for NOCO, because that was Wicked Gatekeeper's car last year, which was also a NOCO car.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I know that there was a little bit of a change seeing how Wicked went over to that 6, which that still confuses me a lot too. He's pulling up behind him, and they think that's the 38 of Tackleberry right in front of Matt BW. So if those guys can hook up and get in the draft, that's going to hinder Jake not getting in that draft to utilize that at the same time. But how are these guys going to pull out? Are they going to let him go around him? How are they going to let the leaders work? Jake's still the leader, as we can confirm. Matt BW making a move to the outside of Tackleberry. Next time by, can you give us an update on how many laps Burnt would try to help keep up too?
8 to go right now.
8?
You should. 7 to go.
Alright, I'm on board with Coyote, who is now behind a 48 of Checkmate. And I just saw the car right there. I do believe that's Napa Fan in that Skittles car, which we know is a lap down. So 48 on those tires. Apparently he did get tires, because he's pulling away from Coyote very well.
Well,
But he's banking on Jake running out or something, because He's pulling away from Coyote, so maybe he did get 4 freshies. Good gravy.
Well, what I'm looking at right now, 8th through 12th, is you got Woodruff in 8th, Captain Jack in 9th, Texpel 10th, Trey is in 11th, and Matt BW is in 12th.
All right. Well, again,
That's
it's not.
secondary.
Yeah, it's not over until it's over right now. Like we always talk about that, and then even then, I like saying it's not official until it's official. We still got what 7 to go, as I'm assuming Jake's crossing the start-finish line right about this
5
time.
at the line.
5. All right. Well, make up your mind. 8, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1.
You
Which
just-
one is it?
It's 5.
5 it is. So Burntwood was
Don't push
right
me.
because he said 6. He said, "Don't push me. Don't push me."
because I'm close to the edge.
All right, so I think I just saw Napa fan coming down pit lane. I'm going to jump on board with Jake. He just made a pass around that leader right there. Trying to see who that is behind him.
Tackle.
No, yeah, that's Tackleberry. So Tackleberry going down a lap down. Man, that's unfortunate. Tackle was super fast, super clean. But once you get broke up at a track like this, you need to have a caution, and sometimes it doesn't work out. We have been clean and green from last night to tonight. That is correct. You brought that up earlier. They're going to come up on another lap car. If I was Jake, though, I mean, that's Matt BW. No, yeah, that's Matt BW in that 42 car. But if I was Jake, man, I would have just been content sitting right there behind
4 to go.
tackle and save him. But I did see that 48 coming up, so 48 is probably at the start-finish line as Jake's going into the turn 1 right now. As we see here comes that 48. So will those 4 tires? I'm going to assume he got 4 because he is on a move right now.
Monty.
You know, I
Let's
didn't think about it, but Texpel might be a lap down, so we might actually be on 3 to go right now. Just to be honest.
All right, I'm on board with Checkmate Taylor right now in that 48. Again, he's been moving. Jake's going into turn 3. He's got Tackleberry behind it. Here comes Checkmate in that 48 right there. He's going to come down this northeast west of short chute. That's in between 3 and 4. Jake's going to go into 3 or 4, come out of it now. Does he have anything for him? Jake, does he have to go into conservation mode? How happy is he with his car? Did Checkmate get 4? Because when I was on board with Jake looking back, this 48 car was hauling the mail. No mistakes on either of them. It's definitely going to help it out, but one mistake from the other one will help
Jake's
the other
on
one
wall.
out. Yep, there it is. So Jake's getting just a little bit loose, and I am watching that gray car in this mirror and out of this over the hood, excuse me, over the roof. Down the back stretch, get closer. He's slowly tracking in that 38 of Tackleberry. Tackleberry's a lap down, 0-0 Jake right there in front of him. He has Matt BW in that 42 in front of him. Will that slow him up? Again, if they're teammates, you have to assume that 42 is going to pull to his side. Jake looks like he got just a little bit too tight and hit
Jake's
that wall.
coming to the white flag.
So Jake's coming to the white flag. I don't know if Checkmate Taylor can get to him, but he has been railing him in, though. So many cars. Sorry to flew so quick. We want to get on this leader's car. He's got a lap car in front of him. Another car coming off the pit lane. Everybody stays out of his way. Jake with his pit strategy. You called it earlier. Can he make it? They still going down there. Over a mile to go. Coming down the back straightaway. Going into turn 3. Down this little short street, going into turn 4. Here at the historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Back Home Again Indiana Preset Cup Season 4 Indianapolis race. Jake is going to take the victory in that Not Buck 00 car.
Yeah, it's definitely a great win right there. Jake played that fuel mileage beautifully. There was nothing anybody in the field could do about it. You can't stop a guy that can run as smooth as that. I chose him coming into this race. I come out victorious. Way to go, buddy.
Yeah, except for today was you said that whoever picks the winner, which you did, that means you owe me $5 now because that was the deal off air.
Look, just to be proven right, it's worth $5.
No, let's get a
but
confirmation of our
seriously.
rundown. I do believe that Checkmate Taylor is going to be
All right, we have
third.
Jake Giroux, Wild Coyote, Coach Matt, Tackleberry, Checkmate, Spanker, Woodruff, Tex Pelt, Trey, and Matt BW are your top 10, guys.
Coach Matt up there in the top 3. That's my teammate, good buddy of mine. Like I said, that's one of the guys I was picking in my head at the beginning of the race. But any of these guys could have won. Arch, if you could do me a favor, since you have that, you're already on it. Fantastic. Let's get these guys up there. Thank you to everybody out there on YouTube land. Look at these drivers, man. Caution free at Indianapolis Motor Speedway tonight.
Yeah, that's a good feeling. It's a really good showing for this league and for these fans and everybody out here. These drivers came out here with kind of action. They executed it beautifully, and man, just way to do that, man. That's awesome to play field strategy like that and to come out victorious like that. Sucks for Checkmate. I know he'd have liked to have been up there. Had a really great car, really great run today, but man, like I said, it's hard to beat Jake, and Jake had a plan, and it was perfect.
Yes, he did. And while we're waiting to get them up here, let's do what we normally try to do every now and then. Monster Energy all the way down here to the eyes. Go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Let's check the daily out. Broom's on there. Hey, wait a minute. Who's this guy in 10th? Archangel Cloud. Never heard of her.
What?
Sitting 10th. And it's very hard to believe, though, some of these guys that ran tonight aren't up here yet. Broom in 9th, and like I said,
What? I'm ahead of them guys? No.
No, you're 10th.
I know. That means I'm ahead of half the field. That makes me feel good.
We'll go over to the weekly here real quick. We just got, did you get all 3 of those guys invited at the same time?
Yep.
All right, here we
They're all
go.
there.
Give me a moment while I blue screen again. I apologize. Robbie was the party host, had other obligations tonight. Thank you for his help up here. Always a pleasure of having him. Coach Matt, Jake, and Wildcard. There we go. So we're waiting to get them in here real quick. Thanks for your help up here tonight, Arch. Always a pleasure, man. Always great fun and great racing.
Oh, I love it, buddy. I appreciate being up here with you, man. Having a good time. Just kicking it with one of my best friends, man. Up here having a good time, watching some great racing, some great strategy play out. As we have our second and third place finishers here, we're going to go ahead and start with third place with Coach Matt while he's already in here. Coach Matt, dude, congratulations on that podium tonight, man. You did a great job hanging in there, holding tough. Tire management, fuel management, dude, all around, really great race for you, buddy.
Yeah, when it came to just off the jump, my car was so loose I couldn't control it. I went from 4th to 10th early on, and so I knew I was going to have to make a ton of adjustments. I knew with all the time that I lost, it was going to come down to strategy. And so my spotter, Ray, was helping me with fuel and everything like that, and I was working with Terrell. He unfortunately disconnected, but and so we were talking through everything. It really came down to fuel management. Each time I made it down to pit road, I mean, even across the finish line, I mean, I was coasting and sputtering. Like, I barely had enough to make it through. But yeah, that's literally what it came down to. I wasn't, a top 3 car speed-wise. I just managed to save just enough to make it across the line. Because there's a lot of faster guys than I was out there tonight.
The tortoise and the hare, man. I mean, it's just keeping yourself in the race. To be there at the end is all you needed to do. You did a great job at that. Really proud of you, man. I've known you for a little while now. We've become really good buddies, man. It's awesome to see you get up here, man. You really deserved it.
No, for sure. I appreciate it.
Hey, no
Congratulations,
problem,
Coach Matt, man. At the beginning of the race, they said, who's your predicts, for the announcers. I didn't actually name one because there was so much talent out there, but you're the first name that did come to my head. Not only are you a buddy of mine, we race a little bit, you're a teammate of mine, our coach and mentor, the head guy was trying to keep tabs on you and Young Boy, and that's unfortunate for him for having a mechanical failure, man, but great job of putting that 37 Tide Pod car up here in the box for Cola Motorsports, and I know know that's got to be a boost and a ego for you, and it helps you in the points, man. Good job.
I appreciate it.
All right, you got Wildcard Coyote, man. You got to change your name back. We've had too much difficulty with it.
Yeah, kid, you've been killing me all night.
It's gonna stay. It'll stick one of these days, guys. But
All night. I mean,
It's a
I
hard
kept saying
transition.
Kid Coyote. I'm sorry, man.
No,
You
no,
had-
it's no big deal.
You definitely put on a pretty dominating performance. You ran the top 3 pretty much the whole race. I don't think there was more than a couple laps where you're outside the top 3. Besides, a little bit of fuel strategy, is there anything you could have done different to try and get up there and battle Jake for that win?
Yeah, it's funny. Before this race started, I said, well, fuel mileage could come into play if it goes green. And, with this league, it's like 1 week you get 14 cautions and another week you get 0. So I didn't save a lot in the first stage. I actually let Checkmate and Jake go by so I could save a little bit. But Jake had me beat on fuel mileage like right out the get-go. So I had to back it down, late in the second to last run there, and that's where I really lost a lot of time. I also smacked the wall a little bit, but all in all, I'm happy to finish second. But Jake's tough to beat, man. You gotta not make mistakes, and I didn't even really start thinking about fuel mileage until we were down about eight to go in that first stage or the first run. So I think that's what it was. I don't know if I could really do much differently than that. He was fast all night too, so yeah.
Hey, as I'm
you
clicking
got-
through too, I've been trying to keep up with the cars and everything. I do have the paint scheme that you were running tonight. Apparently, I have 20 of Brad Keselowski's. Obviously, I don't know that because I don't run Mustangs. But no, man, you put on one heck of a show. Always in the top 3. Strategy came into play when the lap traffic came into play there towards the end. What was your thoughts on that? Were you going to utilize them because or run away with it because it looked like somebody had to use them to save fuel, and you just put the hammer pedal down? And
Yeah,
said, bye.
the last run, I saved a little bit extra the second to last run so I could go hard in the last run, but unfortunately I didn't have any draft, so I did get to really run as hard as I wanted there. But I didn't make much time up on Jake. It was about kind of back and forth. Maybe I gained a couple of tenths overall, but nothing much there. So I don't know. It didn't work out this time, but I'll take second. I got a couple good tracks coming up. I'll give Jake a run for his money and the next two, I think.
Anytime you can put it on the box, especially with the caliber of drivers that you guys are racing with here on Sunday nights, is definitely not going to be a upset at any point in time. So congratulations putting that red, white, and blue deuce up on the box tonight. And I'm sorry, man, you kept messing me up. But you will always be Kid Coyote in my heart, buddy.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys too. You guys are awesome in the booth. So keep
Thanks,
it up.
man.
Appreciate it, man. Dude, great job tonight.
Thanks.
All right, let's switch over to this other car. Once again, I apologize. Do not have his paint scheme. Maybe I should just go get it because as much as I talk to this guy, what's up there, man? We were wondering about your pit strategy. Congratulations on your W here tonight at the historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway preset cup on a Sunday night, Season 4 Giggity Racing, man.
Thank you. It was a good race. Good race out there.
I just want to state a fact real quick, Jake. Before the broadcast started, you were my pick to win, man.
Oh, thanks very
Came
much.
through, buddy.
I'll be honest, this is not one of my best tracks, and I just made it super loose for qualifying, and that paid off. Qualifying really did matter here, so I was just able to hang with Checkmate and Kid Coyote. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure they were a little faster than I was, honestly. I was just saving fuel for the first run because I knew the only way that I could beat those two guys was to beat them by fuel. I saw the fuel right away, so that was basically my strategy: is save more fuel than everybody else, and it just worked out. So that's it was a good race out there. A heck of a battle between Checkmate and Coyote. It was a blast. One pit stop, I tried to pull back to him to get him to come back to me so we can go run Checkmate down. I think it was on that second and last pit stop. And I tried, and then it looked like you messed up a few times, and I was like, okay, I gotta go. Checkmate's getting too far out there, so it was a good race overall.
Well, congratulations. You put another W in the box for your team and yourself this year. You're sitting very good in the points. We got another sweet week of racing coming up again here. Season 4, we're cutting just a couple weeks short, so we got 3 more weeks left. You got a great chance at the points championship. Can't wait to see what you have in store for us in the future. For Archangel, myself, and the one and only Serenity, aka Robbie Vids, thank you for everything that you guys do here in Giggity as administrators and captains. Thanks for having us up here. We appreciate it. You guys out there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join. We're almost over 470. Hopefully we can get to 500 by season 5. So that's great awesome news. Please be safe. Do what you got to do to take care of you and your family out there with everything going on, and we know what to do here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jake, take it to this one, buddy.
No, thank you. You're good. You're good.
Okay, well then, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye!